Hello and welcome. This is We Talk Football. Remember to follow us on social media and follow us on Instagram at We Talk Football 24, also on YouTube at We Talk Football 24, and Facebook at We Talk Football. Now today I wanted to talk about a list that I saw, the 25 greatest players of the 21st century. So I'm guessing that is from the year 2000 to now. And they looked at a lot of things. They looked at things like key achievements, and they had some really nice quotes about some of the players on the list. Now I think overall, and let me not say overall, but I think they got some pieces correct. Of course, Lionel Messi is going to be number one and Ronaldo is going to be number two. Of course, I think, and maybe many of you know, I think Lionel Messi is the greatest of all time, not just of the 21st century. But I also saw some interesting things that made me scratch my head, literally, seriously, because they had some players ranked above others, which I completely disagree with ESPN on. It's a wonderful, interesting list to look at, but I think they made a lot of errors. For example, I think this is really close, of course. They had Thierry Henry above Zinedine Zidane. I think overall their careers as players, I think a lot of people would rank Zidane over Henry. But in this list, they had Henry third and Zidane fourth. Not bad, not bad. But I think if you look at, the overall achievements, maybe some would argue Zidane over Henry, even in the 21st century. But hey, look, there was a point where Thierry Henry was literally the best player in the world. And, Zidane had moments of that, of course. But I think that came a little earlier in his career. And in the 21st century, he also retired quite early. Zidane retired when he was 34 years old. So that's really early in football terms. But not a bad list. I also think they had Luka Modric above, not I think, but I saw they had Luka Modric above Iniesta and Xavi. Luka Modric is ranked 5th. Xavi and Iniesta are ranked at let me check this out. Let me see. 7th. Iniesta is 7th and Xavi is ranked 8th. Now here's the issue for me, where this is the biggest one. This is the biggest problem I had with the list. I mean, maybe you could argue Modric over Iniesta and Xavi. I think that's a ridiculous argument, in my opinion. I still think Xavi and Iniesta above Modric as midfielders. I think Iniesta and Xavi are two top 10 players of all time, not just of the 21st century, all time. So I definitely have them above Modric. But I guess they're going by, some matrix like the Ballon d'Or, which Modric won. But if you ask me, I don't think Modric ever reached the peaks, the highs that Iniesta and Xavi ever reached. Winning 3 trophies with Spain back to back, the dynasty they had with Barcelona. They basically involved in 2 dynasties simultaneously: the Spain dynasty, the Barcelona dynasty. That is just out of this world. That is crazy. But yeah, but my biggest problem about the list is they had Kylian Mbappe at 6th. That is above Xavi. That is above Iniesta. That is above Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho was at 10th. That was above Luis Suarez. Luis Suarez was at number. I think he was 23rd. Yeah, I think. Let me see. Let me look at this very quickly. Yeah. Oh, Luis Suarez was ranked 24th. Wow, my goodness. Nah. Nah, I'm sorry. I mean, I love Kylian Mbappe. I think he's currently the best player in the world. Maybe ESPN was looking at things like that, like has Luis Suarez ever been, the best player in the world or regarded as that? I think there was a time, especially that last season at Liverpool, where he scored like 31 goals in the Premier League without a single penalty. And remember, he missed the first 5 games of that season. And he came back and scored all those goals. I think at that point, he was, like that season, Luis Suarez was the best player in the world. But I think Kylian Mbappe has probably been the best player in the world for about 2 years now. Maybe that's what ESPN is looking at. But if you look at what they've achieved, I think Luis Suarez has had a better career. Comparing Kylian Mbappe's career to date, I think Luis Suarez's career was way better. He led Uruguay to a Copa America victory in 2011, and before that it was the World Cup. I mean, he wasn't the best player at the World Cup for Uruguay, but certainly he had grown into his own in 2011 when Uruguay won the Copa America. I think even though Kylian Mbappe led France to the 2018 World Cup, I don't think he was outright the best player. I think he was still young. He had a lot of people around him. Pogba was really great. N'Golo Kante was great in that tournament. You had Griezmann leading. I think Griezmann was more of the leader for the attacking front for France. And you had a really good squad around him with a good coach at that time, right? And I don't think he was clear cut above everybody else in that French squad like he is now. And you have Kylian Mbappe above Ronaldinho. I think that is ridiculous as well, where Ronaldinho was like the best player around the mid 2000s. After the World Cup, he went to Barcelona, and then he became the fun, flamboyant, skillful, no-look passing, player that we saw and we grew to love. At some points, he was absolutely the best player in the world. It was undoubted as well. He has a Ballon d'Or. He's won everything that there is to be won in football: a World Cup, a Champions League, Copa America. He's been the best player in the world. He has individual awards. I also have Ronaldinho in my top 10 players all time, and all those achievements came after or in the 21st century. So how do you have Kylian Mbappe above Ronaldinho? And they play very similar positions. So for ESPN to do that, I think it is absolutely mental. I don't know what they were smoking. It was pretty good, but messed up as well, maybe. Or maybe it was, bad. I don't know. You can't have Kylian Mbappe above Ronaldinho, even in the 21st century, even with what Kylian Mbappe has done so far. I'm not saying that Kylian Mbappe is not going to surpass these players. Maybe he will. He has a great chance to do that. His career arc, it looks really great. He started off his career excellently, but I don't think right now you can say that from what he's achieved and the things that he's done in the 21st century, he's above those players. He hasn't. There are quite a few things that he still has to achieve, and also Kylian Mbappe is not as young as we think he is now. I think he's 26, so he is in the middle of his prime, and he should be doing a bit more than what we've seen so far from him, and I think that's part of the maybe disappointment for a lot of people with Kylian Mbappe. Well, certainly for me, but I still think he's the best player in the world right now. Also, you have him above. This was the worst one. You have him above Xavi and Iniesta. I don't think you can have Kylian Mbappe above Xavi and Iniesta in the 21st century. Look, those two changed football and how it is viewed right? They were a part of, as I said earlier, they were a part of the Spain dynasty. They were a part of the Barcelona dynasty, and they ultimately changed, or if you want to say evolved, football to a different, to a different style, to a different way of playing football, where you dominate football by keeping possession, and they were absolutely at the heart of that. Man, you don't have that Barca dynasty without those two. I know Messi was there and Pep was there, but without Xavi and Iniesta, you don't have that kind of dominance that Spain and Barcelona had all those years. The way they played, just them two. I remember growing up and seeing some of the statistics where they would have more ball possession, more passes, like more passes between them and passes to their teammates than the opposition team. That's how dominant, like an entire team would have less passes than Xavi and Iniesta. That is insane in a single game. And I think they changed football. They were awesome. Not just that they changed football, but they really were at the heart of their team's greatness. Xavi winning the Player of the Tournament in the 2008 Euro Championships, and Iniesta winning the Player of the Tournament in the 2012 Euro Championships. And you see the kind of synergy and energy that they had with each other, playing the football, passing to each other, controlling the team, controlling the tempo of the game. Big moments, clutch moments from both of them. Iniesta scoring against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge to send Barca to the Champions League final, scoring in the World Cup final, Iniesta. And you want to tell me that Kylian Mbappe in the 21st century has achieved more or has been a better player than them two? He definitely has a chance. As I'm saying again, he has a chance of having a greater career, of being greater, maybe being ranked above all of these guys. But as of right now, you can't tell me that Kylian Mbappe has had a better 21st century than Luis Suarez, Ronaldinho, Xavi, and Iniesta. So I think on that front they got it wrong. ESPN, I don't think that was correct. But as I said, they got some things, okay. They also had Kylian Mbappe above Ronaldo. I don't know about that, but Ronaldo, Luis Ronaldo, not Cristiano Ronaldo, Luis Ronaldo, the phenomenon, in the 21st century wasn't at his best. I think the last really great years we saw from Ronaldo were early 2000s, after his injury at the World Cup, where he was the player of the tournament and he won the Ballon d'Or. After that, he was the top scorer. I think he scored 8 goals in that tournament. So maybe if you want to say Kylian Mbappe was better than Ronaldo, yes, maybe in the 21st century you could say that. Remember, Kylian Mbappe had a really good World Cup in 2022 in Qatar, scoring a hat-trick in the final, leading France to another back-to-back finals in World Cup. That is awesome. But I can't have Kylian Mbappe that high. I'm sorry. I'd have all those 4 guys above Luis Suarez. Above Kylian Mbappe. But let me know what you think. Write down your comments. Remember to follow us on all our social media platforms at We Talk Football 24 on Instagram and YouTube, at We Talk Football on Facebook. See you next time. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you, and see you later. Yo.